Hello, guys. Welcome to CMB's monthly meetup. I am Ali Malik, and I'm joined by Cemal Knudsen Yucel. Cemal is a Turkish ex-Muslim who's founded and now leads the Council of Ex-Muslims of Norway. Today, we'll be talking about how Islam is taught throughout the childhood, how Islamic minds are more prone to superstitions, and what impact that can have on growth. So without wasting much time, we have lots of topics to cover, and there isn't much time. I'll ask you if you can briefly introduce yourself, and also to cover the topic, if you can talk about a bit about your childhood and how Islam was taught in your childhood.
Okay, hi Malik. Thank you for having me. My name is Cemal Knudsen Yucel. I was born and raised in the middle of Turkey in a conservative Sunni Muslims family. And I have been indoctrinated the same way I can say any other children of Muslim parents from very early age, and became a Muslim. It wasn't my choice.
Yeah, not that anybody has
no one's choice. And later I became like Islamist activist in my youth. I was very interested with the Islamist movement in Turkey. We call it Milli Görüş, Muslim Brotherhood in Turkey, actually.
Right. Okay.
I was active in the other side in this time, but today I'm an ex-Muslim and the founder and leader of Ex-Muslims of Norway. But
I'll ask people watching, can you comment if everything's okay? Because to me, you're breaking up a bit. There's maybe some connection problems.
I think it's okay.
It's okay now. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
I hope my voice is coming clear. Do you hear me well, Ali?
It's completely fine now, yeah.
Okay, good. Many things can be speaking about childhood and Islam, how they teach religion to their children. To understand that, first we have to know what Islam says Muslim parents to do with their child. Prophets say every parents have to teach to their children how to pray when they are 7 years old, and they can smack them if they don't pray when they are 10 years old. This is a hadith, a lot of like these hadiths. So actually, even like my mother was an illiterate woman. She couldn't read and write even, but she knew all hadiths. Many things she did. I thought in my youth that it's just superstitions. Of course, these superstitions, but like out of Islam, she's doing these things she don't know. But actually, today when I read the hadiths, really, my mother knew all things, all the things. When they teach their children first that, the bad thing is when they teach children very early age that life, they are lying to children. Life is a lie. This life is not real. The real life waiting us after we will die. They say this to children in very early age. And we are Muslims, and we have privilege because we are in the right path, and the rest of the world is garbage. They are like non-believers, the dirty people. So it is good if they became Muslim too. And they scare children with the hellfire. Even hadith is about that. There is, and when you learn the simple things about fundament, that this life is not real, and real life waiting us after that, and if you are not a Muslim, if you worship other than Allah, you will burn in the hell in eternity. Then
and you cannot question this. This is what we
yes,
tell you, and it's just true. Accept it.
yes, and every children have common sense. In childhood, actually, the best questions coming from children, because they're asking like naturally things like who is the father of God? Allah. I asked my mother. I remember when I was very young. I was curious, I said, Mama, who is the mother and father of Allah?
Right.
I said, shh, don't ask like this. Nobody created him. You have to don't ask like this thing. Then you just close your free thinking. They stop because they scare you. And these teachings narrow the perspective of life.
Yes.
Like you have wall, you don't see everything. The perspective is very small, and you have to work hard in your adult age and when you're mature, hard to break these walls to see who we are, what is the word about humanity, about everything. And they say qadar, destiny, the destiny.
Yes,
the sixth pillar of the faith.
Yeah.
And this make too something to Muslims, every Muslims actually, because when you believe that everything is Allah's will in life, then like so much responsibility. You remove from yourself many responsibilities, because what's happening, it is Allah's will. And this makes something to people too, actually. And like compulsive disorders, because of counting. This is another topic, actually. Let me explain a little bit better. They teach you praying. We Muslims pray. If you're a Muslim, you have to pray 5 different times every day in all your life from the age of puberty.
Yes.
Because praying, Salah, is the second pillar of Islam.
Yeah, it becomes first your duty to do it when you reach puberty. But we know children are made to pray way before that, because they want them to be to have that practicing, to have that the body clock that you have to do it, to make it your routine. That when you reach your puberty, when it's duty, it's first on you, you can just do it because it's your routine. And that's why the hadith you mentioned earlier, that at the age of 10 you can actually beat them if they don't pray. It's just that you have to program kids, you have to indoctrinate them in a way where it just becomes their routine and they cannot question it.
When the perfect role model is Muhammad. When Muhammad says this, gives actually license to smack kids in everything. When you say this, it became like then it's not just only when they're not praying, then parents smacking them. No, then it became like the right discipline. But praying, I'm talking about, this is 5 times obligatory praying, and it is many other prayings every Muslim can do if they want for more benefit from God, Allah. So when and why I'm talking about that, because of it is a lot of counting, counting track, like 5 times. Okay, is it over? No. You have to do many things, like how to put your hand, how many times you have to say what, how many times you have to go down, rukus, sajud, and whatever. Different things you have to do exactly. How you put your feet, even when you sit.
Yes.
You know, many things in Islam, like they say, the way of life, because of many absurd rituals, they put from the early age inside the head of the kids, and he started counting everything, and and even, you know, when you calling prayer calling Adhan,
Yes.
you know, even that, how many times you will say what, and this is like making, I believe it is like compulsive obsessive disorders. It is easy to get obsessive disorders with if you are in all your life, if you are counting things every time.
Yeah.
It's make things with people, even they are aware or not, but it's doing
And
anxiety. How is English?
Anxiety, when you don't do it, it builds up the guilt, and that leads to anxiety. Because, and it's not just prayer, it's literally every single thing. What do you say before you sleep? How do you enter your house? How do you leave your house? How do you go to the toilet? What hand do you use in your toilet? How do you get out of the toilet? How do you enter the mosque? How do you get out of the mosque? How do you drink water?
You cannot sneeze. Ali, you cannot sneeze in peace even.
No, you
When
can't.
you sneeze, you have to say Alhamdulillah.
And then I have to answer to your
and I have to say to you, you have to repeat this. If you don't, you are not a good Muslim. If you will follow it, it is like that.
It is.
Like I cannot say actually, Ali, okay, see you tomorrow. I have to say see you tomorrow, inshallah.
Inshallah, because if God wills,
like we will do something, inshallah. If you know, this makes like really the way of life, and actually it's doing something. Like, you know, left hand is, for example, my brother used his left hand to write and to eat.
Okay.
You know,
that's eating with your left hand.
You cannot believe how many times he gets smacked. My grandfather get angry to him. My mother get angry to him, and he cannot hold the spoon with right hands.
Yeah, that's not his dominant hand, but Islam says so.
Islam have right hand phobia. Really,
left hand.
Left hand phobia. Left hand phobia. You know, you cannot eat, drink, give, or take with left hand.
Yeah.
You have to do, even, you know, you cannot hold your penis when you're urinating with right hand. Prophecy in that.
Really?
I can show it. Wait, maybe.
I also heard something when I was Muslim. I heard something that was really disturbing. It was like, you cannot spit in toilet because a spit from a Muslim is park, and toilet is not park. Your spit is pure.
Yes, I have all the hadiths actually, but in front of me. But where use your anything?
Can you screen share?
Yeah, right. Can I share?
I can, but do you see it at the bottom?
Yes, I will do that. There, program, there. You have to accept, I think.
We can just link them in the description.
You can accept it. It is in front of you right now.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Yes, you see, this is just one of them. If you just search in hadiths right hand or left hand, you will find, you know, you cannot touch the penis with the right hand, and to wipe after the toilet, you cannot wipe. You have to use your left hand, because left hand is Satan, the devil's hand. You know, like these absurdities. You have to go. You have to go inside house with your right foot first. You have to go out with inside the toilet. You have to go with left foot first. Many like these absurdities, and this is superstitions, and actually everything in Islam superstition. Everything, every rituals and every believing things.
And it trains you. It becomes learned behavior, because when I had left Islam, I was okay with myself, because it took me a while to be okay with myself. when I left Islam. And I would still have those learned behavior that would come out. And I started thinking, why am I doing this? Like, for example, if I tripped, I just say, oh, Bismillah. Say,
Yeah.
oh, it doesn't make any sense. I don't believe in Allah. Why is it Bismillah coming out still? Because it's so ingrained within my mind that when you trip, you say Bismillah. When
Yeah.
you wanna, when you do an intention, you say Inshallah, because Allah makes it. So this vocabulary, it just becomes part of your life day in, day out, because
Yeah.
all your life you're told. And this whole process of indoctrination, of programming, of routine starts right at birth. You're
Right.
born, and the first thing you're told in your ears that you are Muslim, and this is your azan, and you have to respond to this azan by praying to it. And then you're circumcised not long after. That's another seal on you that you are Muslim. This is our rituals. We are gonna do it. And the kid knows nothing about the world, about itself, about who their parents are, but the indoctrination, that programming starts right at birth. And when you do eventually question it, it becomes really hard, because you've had 20 or so years, whatever your life is, of just completely submitting everything in your life to Allah, and Allah commanding everything from you. How do you let that go? Because it's just it's inherent within you, because you've given that at your birth.
You know, every Muslim became Muslim without learning anything about Islam. This is the reality of Islam. You know, every Muslim, they have to be Muslim without learning anything. They don't need to learn what my illiterate mother taught me in when I was very little. Then they look me as a Muslim, like you say, and later they circumcise, and then you are sealed as a Muslim.
Yeah.
That's it. Later, it is up to you. You can live a hypocrite live, no life, no problem for them. As long as you say you are a Muslim, it's okay. And for you too. You know, this is like an alternative for every Muslim. Why they are living like many of them living like hypocrites. They don't pray. They don't do any rituals, but they call themselves Muslim. They have sex without being married. They're drinking alcohol. Even they are eating pork, some Muslims. And they say still they are Muslims because they have the alternative. They know if they don't worship other than Allah, they will go heaven one day in any case, because of it's okay. You can burn in hell here and there, but later, because of you believe it Allah, you said you are Muslim, you can be saved. This is the biggest hypocrisy in Islam, you know, and many apologists claiming that ex-Muslims have been never Muslim because like they are ignorant. No, ex-Muslims are most knowledgeable, they have the most knowledge about Islam, so they are ex-Muslim.
Yeah, that brings me to another thing which I wanted to ask you, because it's one thing that indoctrination starts at birth, and then it's made your routine. The religion's made your routine. The way of life is made your routine. But it's also all the teachings throughout your childhood are extremely selective. Because I spent 4 to 5 hours a day of my life learning about Islam, learning about Quran, learning about Muhammad. But it wasn't until I started looking into Muhammad independently of school, madrasa, masjid, and everything, I came across the stuff of, for example, Muhammad having sexual slaves, never mentioned in any of Islamic education. So within the indoctrination, they have to teach selective parts of Muhammad's life, because they know some of the parts are so absurd that even innocent minds are gonna say, what the hell is that? Why is this perfect human being owning other human being for his own sexual gratification?
This is actually the same for me too. You know, it was the same. You know, if you say to children that your prophet is the best role model, and he is the best guy in the world, he just raped some woman and killed many others, and even he was married with one 6-year-old girl, and he tortured people, and we love him, and you have to love too.
Yeah.
Kids get scared hell of, you cannot, they know they cannot say these things. And even maybe many parents are very ignorant too in Islam. They don't know yet these things. So they don't teach the reality of Muhammad. If they did that, because this kid will get scared of Muhammad.
Yeah.
So they don't do that. Later, when you are, when you get used to it, first you love him in whatsoever. You love him, and you defend him. And later, when you are out or with somebody like in Turkey, why I left Islam? Because of the critics of religion. I was lucky enough, I was lucky for that. I lived in a country where we had critical voices, Turkey. So when these people criticized Islam and said to me that Muhammad is one warlord and he's a chief and murderer and rapist, what I said to them first? It was automatically, you are lying.
Yeah.
You're lying. Why you are lying about Islam? Why you are lying about the best man in the world, Muhammad? And they forced me after many years later. Everything's when many questions is coming in, and they became like many, and in the end, it forces you to go and check it. It took time, but when I check it, I saw this is in my books. It is in our book, who write it by us, printed by us, and copied by us.
Yeah. For me,
so actually, this is a very good point. I believe, Ali, you said, because actually we have to learn in the West too. In the schools, to children, we have to teach them the reality, the real life of Muhammad.
Yeah.
Without adding extra thing or without taking something.
Yeah.
The real life of Muhammad, the important things in his life. We cannot understand Muhammad and his religion without knowing the story of Muhammad. And they're lying still in the West, even, they're lying to children about Muhammad. They're showing like my mother and he is the best man. He is the cleanest man. No, he's not clean. Not in our books, in Hadith books. No. Even he washing himself like ritual washing, wudu, in a water where they had like dead dogs in it, and the menstruation blood from the woman in it. This is a Hadith, for example. He said this water is pure. And like his clothes had semen, semen. He wear dresses, dirty dresses on him. Mainly like these things writing in our books. But back to the obsessive things in Islam, like you said, even after I left Islam many years, suddenly I say Allah. It is very stupid. But inshallah and mashallah. You know why? Because of in all I don't believe it was just I was like that. We say Allah help me. Oh, Allah help.
Yeah.
In everything, whatever it is. You go to exam, test, you school, Allah help me. You are watching one football game, Allah help my game.
Yeah.
My team win.
Even when two Muslim nations are playing. Allah help us. Why didn't Allah help the second Muslim nation?
Yes, right. And both team is Muslim team, and both fan is Muslims. These fans praying Allah in everything that they will win. And this make, because like automatically, in the mentality, you cannot be really free and independent.
Yeah.
In mentality, because of that you believe the destiny, qadar, whatever happens, it is will of Allah.
It is beloved.
You know, and this is, I believe, many people. I don't mean that Muslims are crazy. This because they don't like when we mention psychiatrists, then Muslims get angry, I believe. But it's nothing to be ashamed of. I have been even psychiatrist after I left Islam, and I believe my mother should go to psychiatrist, the first person, and my father, and all the Muslims. You know, this is because when you live with a lie in all your life, and this lie commands you to do everything, how you will, like you said, how you will eat, how you will sleep, how you will have sex, how you will go to the toilet, how you will beat your wife, everything, you know, and how and who will you will hate, everything. You know, a lot of phobia in Islam, like you know, even laughing is not good. You cannot laugh a lot. And my mother said, when my mother said many years ago, oh, don't laugh so much, it's not good. I said, what is that? Yeah, it's not. Muhammad said that. I said, Mama, you don't know Islam. Have you read that? Where you read that? But later I find out it is really true. You cannot laugh a lot. He say, and like music phobia. If you will be really sincere Muslim, you cannot listen music. Hadith says that.
Anything that you can enjoy your life with, Islam has a problem with that, because it doesn't want you to enjoy your life. Because this life, again, as you mentioned earlier, this life doesn't mean anything in Islam. It's just a preparation for your next life. You have to prepare for your next life. That's your immortal life, which doesn't get boring somehow, because Allah says so.
Yeah. You know, other things, like they are talking about Islamophobia often when the ex-Muslims begin to speak out in public, especially in the West, because here we believe we can, although we have problems, but they forget how much how much phobia they have, like you know, Jewish phobia, Jewish people.
Yeah,
this is like inside our mentality from the childhood, because of we blame everything to Jewish. Why? It is from Islam, because you know, homophobia, alcohol phobia, tattoo phobia, woman hair, skin phobia, dog phobia, even, you know, black dog. What black dog did to you, man?
Dogs are so cute and they are the loveliest, but
you cannot have picture or dog inside your house, he say. You know, it is the reason we have dogs outside, but actually many Muslims doesn't practice it this really, because they can only have the hunting dogs. But when I think in the back, why actually everybody had a dog outside, even in winter time, because of Islam. You know, it is watchdog. It have one mission, so we have it. But you cannot have a dog like because you like dog and you will give a better life to this dog. You know, many things. Salamander, you know, what lizard. Even lizard phobia in Islam.
That's crazy, because some Muslims go so far to say killing salamander or this lizard is actually sawab. It's actually neki for you. It's actually you'll be rewarded for killing.
Actually, when you read the hadiths, when I'm reading, I'm laughing a lot because you know, many stupid thing, and then this give me like how the thinking about how was life in this time. You know, even you say if you kill the salamander with one throwing, you get so much sawab. If you kill with 2 stone, for example, then you get little lower than the high one. if you kill the third, like a lot of like this stupid thing too, but when I remember when I was, I think 7 years old, or in this time, 6, 7, 8, I don't know, but in this time, in my street, of course, I had friends, boys and girls, I remember, and we playing. But
Okay.
suddenly, when I was, I believe 9 or 10 years old, in one summer holiday, suddenly the girls who we were playing before, gone.
Yeah.
They
After.
just gone. Really, I remember this day. I was very sad because I don't know what's happened, and I just suddenly saw one girl is looking from a window behind the curtain outside. I get really hurt. This picture I never forgot. And later the girl is taken out from the school, get hijab, and later she had been married, married to one cousin, or I don't know what.
Yeah.
This is the life, from childhood. What's happened, and later when I was grown up, then I understand, because of they believe that we became mature when we were 10 years old. It was not good. Me and the girl play together. They are sexualizing the children, like this girl is just a girl, a little girl, man. What are you doing? And this is the destiny of many girls. In especially we boys have more freedom than girls.
Yeah. Because Islam is the time Islam started out in, there was no notion of childhood, because you were either child, like extreme child, in before the age of 10, or then after that, at the moment you hit puberty, you're an adult now. That's what happened to Aisha and so many other kids at the time, right? And because it's such a rigid religion as well, it doesn't leave any room for the teachings, at least what are in the Quran or in the Hadith, to be changed by people, because it says when he started out, it was perfect, and it's gonna be perfect throughout the ages, leaving any room for reformation or evolution of their teachings. It doesn't leave any room for that. So now we have this notion of childhood. We allow our younger ones to grow up, allow them their teenage years to grow them into an adult, which Islam doesn't have. It just means after the age of 10, or when you hit your puberty, you are an adult now. And that affects girls, little
Mostly.
10 years old girls, a lot more, because then they are wrapped in this cloth, because all of your honor and shame is with girls, right?
Yeah, but aura betir. Aura mean, like, they look to the woman, the girls too, of course, like vagina.
Yes.
They are vagina, nothing more.
Yeah.
And then they have to protect, because prophets say, like, and they give the us boys the responsibility over, like, we have power over women, or their vagina. They are all of it vagina. Their hair, even actually vagina.
Yeah.
Our honor, they call it honor culture. It's nothing to do with honor.
And property of men. Before marriage is property of her parents. After marriage, she is property of her husband.
Yes, and
own existence.
Yeah, and this is, many people doesn't understand in the West, especially. It is about, like, many honor killings in every Muslim country, even in Turkey, a lot of.
In Pakistan.
They call it honor culture, because of they are very, in Islam, they are very busy with skin and hair, actually vagina of your women's.
Yeah.
And why? Sometimes I think, why in the Muslim countries we men are very aggressive and violent, and like a macho culture, man chauvinist, because Islam give us license. We are shepherd.
Yes.
and when I'm old enough, this means puberty age, it is my responsibility too. Like it is my mother, my sister, if I have daughter, my daughter, even my grandmother or my aunt is my honor. But I'm not their honor.
No, you can do whatever
I
you
can
like.
the hypocrisy of the Islamic world, but like it is so easy to see how women are actually nothing. They are shepherd over household, nothing more. This is hadith. This is from Prophet.
Yeah, he calls them. They
We are
are.
shepherd over.
Yes.
They are shepherd over household, making food to us, cleaning, and we can have sex whenever we want. If they say no,
they are cursed. Angels gonna curse them from.
And Islam gives to the men's mentality actually to be a dominant person, because you have privileges over women, and you are the guardian of women.
And that's why Islam doesn't like men being feminine either.
But this is the hypocrisy. If we go deep inside theology, we will find out actually Islam is very in many periods Islam is okay with the gay man in theology, but later it became like we have one homophobia. And even in Sharia, they have to be killed. Throwing them from high buildings and stoning them. But when you look to the theology, sometimes you meet that how many gays were or feminine, they calling feminine men inside the house of Muhammad.
I guess we need to make a slight distinction, because it's not about gay men. It's about intersex people who are neither men or women. Because the logic behind is they are never impure, because they don't get menstruation or they don't release semen, because that's two forms of impurity. That's for intersex people. Because when we say gay men in the West, we have a certain, it's biologically male homosexual who are attracted to other men. That is forbidden in Islam.
Yes, I know. Just this is a deep topic. I'm just thinking the other things, because many funny and tragicomic thing in theology, like in Islam, if you will follow what Quran says and the commentary says, some Muslims interpreting that if somebody is gay, you will hit them with shoes.
Okay.
But with girl is lesbian, they will be prisoned in home until they die.
Right. Okay.
But hadith say different. Hadith says kill the many stupid things in Islam. You can find everything, but it is one reality that Islam is against homophilia, and all LGBT people who support Islam really don't understand what will be happen to them if they live in an ideal Islamic country. So like women who defending hijab today, they have to think twice too. They are really either ignorant or hypocrites.
Either or, completely. I don't understand, especially Western women or women from West, sporting hijab, or the notion of hijab is just beyond me. Hijab is a tool used by men and families to control women, to get them to submit, to control over their sexuality and expression of their freedom, because they just want women to be wrapped up and be in the houses. Sorry, I'm cutting you off. What Islam says, the problem is with men, because if they see women's hair or ankles outside, it's gonna awaken their lust and they can't control themselves. That means men are animals, right? Because we cannot. It's offensive to me. I see women or kids, especially kids in hijab, I feel offended because you are presuming if I see open hair on that woman, I cannot control my lust. And the problem is with men, and you have to imprison women for that. How does that work? Where is logic in that? Anywhere.
It's simple, very simple. You explain it very simple. It is that they have to understand, but we have many apologists, like in the West, especially girls who wear hijab and have many makeups and jeans and everything, but they are free too, and they are defending hijab because they don't know anything.
No.
Really anything. But they understand today when they know, if they know theologically, actually what they are doing is everything is not right. They cannot sit and speak with one man in the same room. They cannot travel alone. They cannot sing. They cannot have makeup. They cannot use perfume, or they are whore according to Prophet Muhammad.
Yes.
But they do everything, and this is my choice. Why your choice? Okay, good for you. But what are you thinking about compulsory hijab?
Yeah.
Why? My mother using hijab. She don't know. She thinks this from Allah. Allah commanded to her to wear hijab. But where is hijab writing? Anything in Quran? There is nothing about cover your hair.
It is actually.
Hair.
Cover your head. Yeah.
Hair. Nothing. Allah forget it. Allah have forget to say to you, cover your hair. No, if you will do really Islamic way, I believe this is theologically correct, then you will use burqa.
Yeah, or chador.
Chador, what is this? That you are just covering your hair, but everything you do is not Islamic. And at the same time, you are defending Islam to me.
Yeah.
A lot of hypocrisy. It's.
Yeah, for many people, it's like if some difficulty or some problem doesn't exist for me, it doesn't exist in the world at all. Some people, some women in the West do take up hijab as their choice.
Yeah.
Completely fine, they're adult and do so. But you cannot deny that other women in other parts of the world, or even in the West, aren't forced to wear it because
millions of women suffering because of that.
Yes, completely.
I know personally many women who forced to wear. Many women in Iran, like Iran or other Sharia countries, they are getting prison sentences just because of they use it wrong way.
Yeah, or show their bit of their hair up front.
And no one. Where is this feminist actually? And now we are jumping from topic, but
we are jumping.
It wasn't my mother's choice. I can say that it wasn't my mother's choice to wear hijab. So easy, and it wasn't my grandmother's choice too.
No, it's not.
No one's in my family women's, but they are defending. If you use this hijab in all your life, even you lose your hair. I'm working in a factory, and I have like helmet.
Yeah, the hard hat.
8 hours. It is in the summer. Oh my God! It's sweating hair and like head and everything. These women have and Muslim countries often in the hot places. Yeah, these women using this 24-hour almost every day.
Yeah,
and we are talking about this is. What is that, man? Why we men don't use that? So easy question. Why? Allah have forgot to mention many things, but he was very busy with the absurd thing, like Muhammad's sex life.
Yes, of course.
And like the Rahman chapter of Rahman. If you look to the chapter, it is about I think 74 or 76 verses in this chapter.
Yes, Surah Rahman.
Yeah, half of them, like 35 of them, is the same thing.
Same.
Same,
فَبِأَيِّ
exactly
آلَاءِ
same
رَبِّكُمَا
word.
تُكَذِّبَانِ, and how many of your God's blessings
Yeah.
you deny. It keeps
What
on
the
saying
heck?
over and over again. Yeah.
Couldn't he just mention things? We have no punishment for raping even in Islam, in the Quran. Have we? Can some
They,
Muslim show me?
even more so, it's not recognized most of the times. Marital rape is not recognized because a man owns his wife essentially, or his wives essentially. He can do as he please. Marital rape
Quran,
is not recognized,
even
and
Quran. Sorry.
women has to produce, women victims of rape have to produce multiple witnesses to rape, otherwise they are tried as adulterers. What is that? Most of the rapes happen in isolation, in
They don't. They don't know even what rape mean. Husbands raping their wives every day in many Muslim countries, because when men say "I want," she have to. She have no other choice.
yeah,
It is Muhammad saying that. Muhammad gave me life to do that. What is,
yeah.
what she can say? So, but the interesting thing that many Muslims doesn't know, Islam even give license, permission to rape married women in Quran,
uh,
captives,
People other than their husbands, to people other than their husband.
captive woman, captive
Yeah,
slave, like
yeah,
slave woman
yeah,
in
Londi,
the
yeah.
world. Yeah, and if they are married, even this is saying in the Quran, it is lawful to.
Yeah.
So, many stupid things. Islam have to be exposed, and this is what we are doing. But I'm also happy that many Islam apologists, especially in England, UK, they are exposing Islam too. Let them speak.
Yeah,
Let them really speak. They are exposing Islam every day without
I
no.
wanted to. I wanted to. Are you aware of this recent things going on by this the London-based Dawa guys? Are
Yes,
you
yes, yes.
going on Twitter? We'll come back to it in the end. I think we should get back
Okay.
to the topic.
Yeah, big
And
topic.
before we
Sorry.
go there, I'll ask people if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. We'll be taking questions later on. Our time is almost over, but if we're talking like this, Jamal, I can talk for hours about Islam and stuff,
It's
because
good to
there
talk
is
to you.
so much to talk about in Islam, right?
A lot of things, a lot of things. And when I talk with my friends, we are laughing so much, but it is tragic comedy. It's not just funny, it's not just tragedy, but it is together.
It,
We
it,
are
it,
laughing instead of actually we should cry, really.
that's, you can't help yourself but laugh, because it's creating so much misery in the world. It's creating so much problems and inequalities around the world, even today, in the world we live in, where we could have achieved so much more if Islam wasn't keeping these countries and equalities in these countries behind. That's why ex-Muslims actually need to speak out a lot more. That's why we choose to speak out, because we've seen how people are. Yeah, that argument can be misconstrued, but we've seen how good equality is for a society, to whatever extent. And we don't see that in our countries, in the countries we were born in. And we want our countries to actually pick the pace up towards equality. That's why. And we think uh, Islam is a big deterrent. Islam is a big obstacle in the way of getting the equality, or making progress towards that. Men, women, homosexuality, anything, women's choice, falling in love, showing your hair, anything you want to do, just basic freedom. People should be allowed to do that. But Islam doesn't allow many people to do that.
No. Many, especially women, they, in the Islamic society, it doesn't have to be a Islamic state constitution. Just the majority Muslim countries, when we are talking about almost secular ones, even millions of women have no the basic rights. What we will say, like she can go out and sit with friends, girl and man, and take a coffee.
Yeah.
This is just, the basic thing. Like, you cannot go out even and meet with some friends without really get permission, or with some family members with you, if you will meet with some other uh, like men is
Complete
there.
mahram.
Mahram. These things is like, so we are fighting for, because of today's, I believe, I don't want to be politically correct, the worst religion today is Islam. I'm an atheist. I'm against every religion, in fundamentally, because of everyone is lie.
Yeah, they're all lies and frauds.
Everyone is harmful
Yeah,
to people in some degree,
completely.
but some of them is worse than other. And when I look, Islam is the absolutely worst one today.
Today, yeah, it's important to say that today.
Yes, and this is, we are doing, we have to talk, contribute to the normalized dissent and normalize blasphemy in Islam. If we do that, many people will get freedom.
True.
This is the biggest problem in Islam, because of this afraid. People are afraid. People are afraid. How many people you have met in your born country that could say openly that I'm no Muslim anymore?
No, in Pakistan, there is real chance you can get killed for it.
In
Extreme.
Turkey, even in Turkey, it's one very moderate Muslim country.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are actually not Muslims, ex-Muslims, but they are calling themselves like seculars, laicite people.
Yeah.
We have now atheist organization in Turkey, actually, so we have to mention that too. But they have not good. They are afraid. They have to hold even their meetings in secret. And
it have to be the way Erdogan is governing Turkey, and the way he's trying to bring Islam back into Turkish politics, because Turkey has a rich history of secularism. How Mustafa Kemal actually overthrew the sultans and tried to establish a secular form of governing in Turkey, and now we see this current Recep Erdogan actually backwards.
Actually, this has some connection with our topics too. What he doing now in the last 10 years, 20 years. Many children, especially since Erdogan got power. Since then, in this time, children who were, for example, 9 years old, today they are over 20 years old. And they get this ideology from everywhere, Islamic ideology. So I'm a little bit afraid about the new generation, some of the new generation in Turkey, because of then you see their mentality, how it impact Islamic theology, really impact their mentality about how they look to women. They are harassing women because of she go without hijab, for example.
Right.
And one like rape culture, it's because of they blaming the woman. And we see one type of Arabization, like Turkey became like Arabic dresses, like with long beard, people everywhere. So it is scary thing happening in Turkey because of mentality is changing, not only laws, law and the government, but mentality, and this is scary.
I guess it does have impact on brain, like how a government governs and what legal code there are. It's top to bottom education, right? Because how government and how legal is, and that same thing happened in Pakistan. If I tell you, like Pakistan got its independence in 1947, and from 1947 up until 1977. Pakistan still had bars and pubs, alcohol was allowed, and everything. Blasphemy law existed, but it wasn't Islam wasn't mentioned in blasphemy law. It was only mentioned the hurting religious sentiment is against the law. But what happens is in 1977, it's around the same time Saudi started pumping in money into Pakistan. It was Faisal back then. I think he gave Pakistan a lot of money to build the largest mosque in Asia at the time, Faisal Mosque in the capital. And there was a lot of money and aid coming in from Saudi. And that changed everything. First of all, in 1977, they banned alcohol. And then this dictator comes in power, Ziaul Haq, who created IGI, a secret service within the army, who would try and work for Islamization of the country. And then in 1986, the words Allah, Muhammad, and Quran are added into blasphemy law. So just for one, if I can show you the contrast, from 1947 to 1977, there was one case registered for blasphemy in Pakistan, and nobody was prosecuted. There was no sentence for it, no extrajudicial killing either. That's 30 years. And from 1986 to 2020, that's 34 years. So that's two halves essentially. More than 1,500 people have been tried for blasphemy. Right? More than 50 are on death row right now. More than 40 are on death row right now. And more than 70 people are killed extrajudicially who were accused of blasphemy. So that shows how a law can change public sentiment, how a law can actually get public to act in a way that they want. And if Pakistan's blasphemy law is repealed somehow, I'm hoping in next 20 years' time, people's sentiment around that is going to be changed as well.
Like we saw last week, I think one guy who accused to be a blasphemer, he have been shot and killed in the court.
In the courtroom, and it's not the first time.
Yeah,
and killed in their jail cells.
Yes.
Government ministers have been killed because they spoke against blasphemy law. So, sorry, go on.
And then we saw the young guy who murdered the young guy with the policeman with nice pictures. You remember? But
yeah.
This, like you say, this give people more courage.
It does.
To act like that.
It does. And that was another turning point actually in 2010 when Salamander, the governor of Punjab province, was killed because he tried to defend Asia Bibi's death punishment, tried to speak against Asia Bibi's death punishment. He was killed, and his murderer was regarded as a hero. Yes. His janaza was attended by thousands and thousands of people, and he was showered with rose petals. And now there's a whole political movement at the backs of Mumtaz Qadri, the murderer of Salman Taseer, who had actually forced this somewhat moderate sect of subcontinental Islam, Brailvis, who were always about peace and love and tranquility and dancing and chanting and everything, like Sufi traditions. Now they have turned into this Salafist notion of going for violence because that one killer was glorified.
Yeah, because but in the reality, Islam justifying the violence. Islam orders violence. Islam says that you have to kill blasphemer and apostates. So they are just the good Muslims who do that. But the interesting thing is that if you look at the last 100 years, for example, in the beginning of 1900, you can look to all the Muslim countries almost, that they are moderate. Women were more free, because Muslim and Islam is two different things. Muslim are people, right? And they often became a moderate after years and years, because they want to live. They don't want to be a robot who are doing everything what one man said 1400 years ago.
And there's
But
a lot more in life to worry about.
yes, but you see the Yemen, you see Egypt, you see Turkey, even Saudi Arabia, in the 100 years ago, when you look to the pictures from for the 1930s, woman without hijab. Even we have video, in Afghanistan.
I hear it. Here it is. I'm so sorry. I think I kicked you out.
Okay, I don't know. It's okay for me. I just want to say that, when we look back, many times in many different places, Muslim became moderate. They go far from Islam, but some little bunch of Islamists who want to have Sharia, they are taking country the very conservative way. How they manage that? Because of really, this is actually one topic for study. We have to study really how, because we know the majority of Muslim people are not conservative. Of course, country to country is different, but the majority of Muslims are not the walking Quran, but all the time we see the same thing, that countries became more and more religious by some apologists, some Islamists. And this is the sad story of the Islamic countries. So we have to really give freedom to people to speak and live Islam or stay in Islam, but have to have the right to say whatever they want against whatever religion.
That's true. And that's where heretics are more important than moderate Muslims. I'm by no means trying to discourage Muslims to be moderate. I think Muslims should be moderate if you want to believe in Islam. But the problem is when these fundamentalists, when these Islamists are trying to influence politics by religion and trying to Islamicize everything, moderate Muslims are, again, because of their learned behavior, are told not to question, because if you question that, you're questioning Islam. And moderate Muslims are always concerned about that because they still believe. And people like you, people like all ex-Muslims, they are heretics. They don't mind questioning that because they don't believe in Islam anymore. That's why heretics are more important or more effective in bringing in change than moderate people.
Of course, the same happened in the West.
Yeah.
The heretics, because of the ex-Christians, actually, I can say, in the Age of Enlightenment, all these people who even they said, oh, they are deists, because they have to be deists first in the old age. They brought us here in the West where we have freedom.
And they blasphemed.
Blasphemers and apostates.
Yeah.
400 years, and still it's going.
Yeah.
In the West. You remind me just, about questioning Islam. I remember when I was very, very busy with the topic Qadar, the destiny, in my childhood too, in my youth too, because of I observed my mother's life. It was like a hell for a woman. My father beat her, and she's a perfect Muslim woman. So I just thought that, okay, my mother is a good Muslim. My father is bad Muslim because he doing bad things with my mother. So okay, but why she have to suffer in this world?
Completely.
If Allah knows everything, why this theater playing? He know everything. can't he just stop everything, punish me, or send me to hell or paradise? So I asked one imam and said to him about the qadar, destiny and free will. He said to me, you don't question this topic so much. Don't go deep inside. If you do that, you can fall from Islam. And he had right. Actually, this answer is not just this imam's answer. This is a theological answer. You shall not question things which you don't know.
Yeah.
Do you see the logic? We call this logic. You should not. You can only ask when revelation is happening.
I was told the same thing when I first started questioning about something that didn't sit well with me, was Muhammad having slaves. And I started asking about that. And I was told the same thing. You cannot question the faith. You can question practices and how do you make your practices better. But when it comes to faith, you have to follow it without questioning it.
Yeah.
It doesn't satisfy your curiosity, does it?
No. This is one of the biggest problem in Islam. Questioning is prohibited.
Yes.
You cannot ask everything.
Yeah.
It's not just you can't leave Islam. You can say whatever you want, but even you cannot ask.
You cannot.
They will look the intention. Then even they can say, "Why are you asking like that?" They stop you. And when you are a child, especially, they block you with hellfire first. They say to you don't become an apostate. You have to be a Muslim, good Muslim, practicing Muslim. If you do that, then you will burn in hell. Later, they sealing you with your boy with circumcision.
Yeah.
If you are a girl, with hijab. And later, when you are grown up, they say, if you leave Islam, you will die. This is really most dangerous and stupid religion in the world.
Completely. I believe. That's the only place where Islam is consistent in its rigidity. It's in staticness because it just doesn't want itself to be changed and evolved. As one of the most profound sentences I heard when I was actually in the process of leaving Islam was Christopher Hitchens' one phrase, him saying, the biggest problem with Islam is how absolute it thinks it is. Because when you claim that you are
religion,
because you are an absolute, it is an absolute religion, that means there cannot be any change. The degree of absolution in Islam is off the scale. That's why it doesn't allow you to question, because you have to just close your eyes, be blind and follow it, because it claims itself to be an absolute religion.
And arrogant.
And it's arrogance in that.
Yeah. Do you know any other religion in the world cursing other people of the religion, like Jewish and Christian, daily? Yeah. Many Muslims don't know the meaning of Al-Fatiha. We are, 90% of the Muslim people in the world is not Arabic-speaking people. Only maybe 10% of Muslims are have Arabic like their mother tongue, right?
Yeah.
And we have the good books behind us, hadith books and Qurans, without reading anything. We just parrot. We are learning. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, praying.
Yeah.
Without understanding anything. If you look to the Fatiha, you will understand from interpretation from Ibn Kathir, Al-Jalalain. You will understand that you are cursing. You say, don't make us like this Jewish or Christian.
Yeah, people.
What kind of religion? Yes, what kind of religion really spreading so much hatred in it is holy book, and in it is all theological books, really get free space and protection in the West. that even they can keep these books who calling for killing the apostates, killing the Jews, killing the Christians, killing the disbelievers.
Yeah.
Allow it. I don't say that they have to like how I can say, they have to remove Islam. Okay, but they have to do something with it. They have to challenge Islam. They have to stop giving money to any mosques as long as they have these books inside the mosque. Many these things, this is another topic. I like to jump. Okay.
I sometimes tell my Muslim friends I blaspheme because it's Sunnah. Muhammad was blasphemer, and it means it's okay. It's Sunnah, because Muhammad blasphemed against every other religion of the time, just calling it his own God right and saying all of your gods are wrong. How can Muhammad do that? In your objective morality, it means everything is black and white, right?
Yeah,
things are allowed and things are not allowed. But if Muhammad is doing something and he's allowed, if I'm doing the same thing towards Muhammad, I'm not allowed.
Yes.
Kind of objectivity is that?
But hypocrisy and deceiving in a huge part, it is a huge part of Islam, really. Like you said, Islam is a product of the Muhammad's blasphemy. We have to respect blasphemers. If we are, so Muslims must actually.
We're keeping the Sunnah alive, right?
Yeah, yeah. The only sunnah we are following.
The only one.
Only one. This is the blasphemy.
And you and me. So
yeah. It is really really funny.
I guess we have gone over time a bit. But if you want to come back to the topic, I guess the conversation was really interesting. I can just change the name of the video and just say we discussed Islam.
Yeah. Do it.
So before that, I'll ask people if they have any questions. And Zahiruddin, please don't hurt my religious feelings.
My hurting feelings I don't care. They are hurting people physically and psychologically every day. Your religion do that, my friend Zahir. Why? I get hurt in all my life. Jewish people getting hurt every day when they hear Muslims praying and reciting Al-Fatiha and cursing other religious people. Yeah. You are talking about hurting feelings. This, just make empathy, my friend. Just make empathy and think. All people who are suffering under your religion, the laws of your religion.
Yes, completely. And people do need to realize
we are not killing people. Yeah. All of our families are Muslims.
Yeah.
We love Muslims. This is the reason why we are talking. We are only talking. We are not hurting people with knife or with weapon. Yes. And the Muslims have to really, it is time for Muslims to understand that their religion is not untouchable anymore.
Completely, yes.
It is time that your religion will get insult, your religion will get mockery, your religion will get critics. It's time, because all other religions in all these years experiencing the same thing. They're not killing. But look at Pakistan. You just say it. What's happening in Pakistan? What's happened in last week? And this friend or guys saying he get hurt, but it's good. It's no problem as long as you say just that you get hurt. No problem. I'm not angry to you actually, because this is okay to say. This is okay to say.
Yeah, completely. And I hope Zahir is listening to this, because this is something we hear quite a lot. People who criticize Islam, people who mock Islam, people who blaspheme, they get to hear this, you're hurting my religious feeling. First of all, that's not our intention. Just because you take the offense, then you make your mind judging our intentions. Our intention is basically we want betterment in the societies. I criticize Islam. We criticize Islam. Most ex-Muslims criticize Islam because they want a change in the communities they were once part of. It's coming from a place of trying to make these communities progress, trying to make these communities better. We're not trying to. I don't get any pleasure people getting hurt over my sentences. It doesn't pleases me at all. But
And
there's a bigger picture to be considered.
we want to give freedom to Muslims, freedom to choose, freedom to live, freedom to say whatever they want.
Completely.
But not only when you are a Muslim and defending Islam, it have to go otherwise too.
Everywhere.
So easy. I will stop calling myself ex-Muslim that day when to be an ex-Muslim in public in the Muslim countries is absolutely safe. Then I will stop calling myself ex-Muslim. Then there is no need.
There's no need.
We are calling ourselves ex-Muslim to normalize, to be a dissent. Apostate.
Yeah, completely. I guess thank you everybody for listening. Do you want to talk about something else, or if there is more questions, we can take more questions, guys. If you have any questions, comment. Otherwise, we'll start wrapping up. I can go on if you like.
One said pagan rituals. Everything is pagan. Yeah, everything is actually pagan rituals in Islam. Just I want to say that you are praying the direction of stone. A stone. You are kissing a stone for forgiveness for your sins.
Yeah.
And you are throwing stone to a stone. You are going around 7 times a stone. You are running between stone to stone, and you are calling this anti-pagan religion.
No, the whole.
This is the religion of stone.
Yeah.
For me, the old rituals, actually coming from pre-Islamic era, and it's going back to the Sumer and Babylon. Many things, it's a bad mix of all religions are Islam. I believe.
No, even kind of plagiarism is just.
Yeah. Or like actually Tariq Fatah said one time, I heard him, he said, if you believe one God and practicing the Jewish rituals, then you are a Muslim. This can be right, but it's not totally, because of it is many other things inside Islam. It's nothing to do with Jewish too, but many things from Jewish.
Muhammad did retain a lot of the practices from other religions at the time. Hajj, or even chanting during Hajj is pagan.
Even Miraj is coming. Miraj, the night journey. It is coming from Zoroastrians.
Yeah, that's
and like Noah. What is the man who went with the Moses and he had one fish with him?
Yunus.
No.
Aaron.
No, the man living all the time because of he have been in the. I'll just forget. But this coming from the Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh, yeah.
The story of Gilgamesh and many things, he heard little bit from some Christian something. He write it, but not correctly, because he heard just little bit. He heard little bit from Persian people, and he write it from Zoroastrian, and not correctly. So this the reason in Quran you can expose a lot of wrong things historically. Scientifically and
scientifically,
geologically.
Yeah, scientifically, Quran is just a failure.
Totally, completely.
And I cannot believe there was a time in my life when I believed Quran was a scientific book.
Yeah, because we didn't read. Actually, we didn't read with our mother tongue and study this. Because it's an absurd book, you don't want to read it because it's not chronological. The same story is coming out in many different places suddenly.
Yes. And
nothing, it's not pleasure to read Quran. This is the problem.
No, but I did enjoy some stories though. I did enjoy some of the stories. I quite like the story.
I haven't. I haven't enjoyed anything. I have read it Bible too.
Okay.
I'm finished with the Bible, and it is, I can say it was a pleasure to read it like a book, because you understand. But it starts with who live, who is the father of who is the father of who, how many years they live it. It starts logically even from the beginning. And you read many absurdities there too, but yeah, I mean, a book can be read, and but the Quran is not the same. Like you said, scientific errors. One error can finish Islam. If you believing that Quran is the Creator's book, then one error have to be enough. And I said to you, it's writing there.
It's right.
And the sun, the moon, and the stars. Do you see something's wrong here? Sun is star, my friend. God don't know that.
Yeah.
He should say moon and the stars. Sun is one of the stars, but sun is very near to us, so this is big. But the other stars is like sun, but they are very far away. It is simple explanation.
They're stars are lamps in the sky.
Yes,
right?
yes. You cannot mention the sun and stars in the same sentences, because sun is a star.
Yeah. Sun is a star, and sun sets in muddy water. Quran says.
Yeah, many. These things is many, but I just say just one simple thing. Allah taught that stars is not same as sun. It's finished. Islam is finished. Don't need the.
Or I had better suggestions for Allah to actually lead some discovery. Allah could have easily told Muhammad that Australia existed, because Australians were cut off from us at that time.
But Allah say Islam come to the Mecca and around Mecca only.
Yeah, Allah was obsessed with Mecca. All Middle Eastern gods were obsessed with one small part in Jerusalem, and then Muhammad was in Mecca, so he just made everything about Mecca.
Because everything's copy paste, same place. Copy paste in many years. They have no clue about what was in the Europe, what was in the Australia, like you say, what was in the
Australia. We didn't even know of Australia back then. Like humans didn't know of Australia because they were cut off from us. Americas were cut off from us. Allah could have told Muhammad easily, there are more human beings stranded on that island on the other side. Because when Muhammad talks about the difficult or furthest land, he talks about China. Why couldn't he just talk about beyond China?
Yeah. It's easy to, if people use their logic, they will understand that Islam is not a religion, or it's not a divine thing. You have to first question the divine existence. Just forget it, religion, forget it, Islam or Christianity or whatever. But just think, okay, one, like Christopher Hitchens, you say, I love him. Like Christopher Hitchens says, how many thousand years? Many 100,000 years, God just observed what's happening down there, But suddenly, in the last 2,000 years, suddenly he decided, now I have to do something. Although many people died, even under the birth. Child birth was one of the most dangerous thing, and people live it almost 30 years in many years because of wild and nature. But suddenly in the desert of Arabia or around there, God invented religion. After that, he invented one more. It is a stupid thing.
Then he was the last one, because Muhammad didn't want anybody to take glory after him. Everything.
Actually, I believe that Islam have been invented many 100 years after Muhammad. Today's Islam that we know, Muhammad even didn't believe it, that he will be a prophet and many other people in the world will
He
believe
could
him.
have
He
success.
had, so he said that it is a religion for Mecca actually and around. And he said that every nation have a prophet.
Every
And he is the prophet of Arabic nation. So if we really just believe that okay, Islam is a religion, then let Arab have Islam.
no, Islam claims itself to be the universal religion.
Yes, this is say later come, but in the beginning, when you look, Muhammad doesn't believe that he will be a prophet
of one from you. When Allah is talking to the Arabs through Quran, he's saying, we chose one amongst you, we chose one from you. Just telling them he is one like you. But
we sent Quran in Arabic to so you can understand.
Yeah, the evolution of Islam is an extremely interesting topic, which I think we should do another one on. Islam throughout years, the timeline of Islam, so to say, because there is flip flop going on. There is rationalism for 200 years, then is traditionalism, then traditionalists are prosecuting rationalists, rationalists are prosecuting traditionalists. That especially from 900 to 1200. Mutazilites, and then Harun Rashid's son prosecuting Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal because Ahmad bin
Actually,
Hanbal.
we should talk about that, and we should talk about so-called the Golden Age.
Golden Age, yeah.
This is a hoax, hoax.
Yeah, completely.
It's a hoax, complete hoax, and we can prove that. They do everything. They have money today, the oil money they're giving to the Western universities and the professors and the movie makers, and they invented a golden age of Islam. There is nothing golden age. But if you say that when Islam gets power and they like attack it everywhere and conquest is golden age, then I can say okay. Conquest, Islamic conquest is golden age. It's okay. I can say that because they managed to take many places. But about inventions and something like that, it's nothing to do with Islam.
Nothing to do with Islam. Nothing. And people who were actually doing these inventions, who were making these inventions and discoveries, they never attributed their success to Islam. Never.
And it is logical to understand that when Islam comes to Persia. And when Islam meet with the Greek philosophy, of course, there are many Muslims people. They are people, not just, and converts, Persians especially. Of course, we had philosophers, but today they call themselves like Muslim, Islamic. They weren't. Ibn Ghazali called Ibn Sina as a heretic.
Yeah, Ghazali
Al-Farabi, heretic. Many of them, their books burned. Averroes.
Yes. Reason and faith.
Depends on how one defines what a golden age implies.
Right.
Yeah, so if conquers.
Somebody had asked to if you can make a comment about Muhammad Hijab's Twitter meltdown. You don't have to, because I don't usually get into these things. It's just
I haven't read or watched these things, but I have. So as long as I know, I mean that let them speak. These people exposes Islamic mentality, and these people exposes what is real Islam. Really, how when they have no power to kill you, then they do other things like they did now. I read it now in these days about what they do to apostate prophets and Samir with harassing their wives even.
Yeah.
It
just shows their maturity and
this shows their level. They act like they are intelligent. There is nothing with intelligent with these people. This is typical. I look at them like kids, kids, really.
Yeah, and Muhammad Hijab, I've always got the feeling he was a bully. And
Yeah,
whenever he speaks, there is just a way about him. He's got that bullishness, that arrogance about him, and attacking somebody's loved ones, their families. Uh, it's that's just. I mean, it just shows what kind of people they are.
exactly.
You cannot defend your ideas. You have to, I guess, stoop down to personal attacks because. And the thing is, they live in a glass house and they're throwing stones. But one thing I'd say, ex-Muslims who are being attacked, who their loved ones are being attacked, people like Abdullah Gondal's wife's been attacked, Abdullah Sami's wife's been attacked, Apostate Prophet's wife been attacked. They have shown their character by not stooping down to that level. They haven't made personal threats, and it's so easy. It's so easy. I don't want to say it, but it's so easy to just say, in your objective morality, it's okay for a 54-year-old to marry 9-year-old.
Yeah.
And then the way he was posing questions to their wives, that question could have been posed to Muhammad Hijab, but these guys didn't, which is actually a dignified way of behaving, and not engaging is the only way left after that.
The reason I haven't followed it so much because first of all, I'm not on Twitter so much. Very, very not what was the English? Just maybe sometime I'm on Twitter, and I haven't following on Twitter. But I heard what Apostate Prophet said, and what Samir said on video on Facebook, and it is like expected. These people, what you can expect from them. So these people actually they are doing good job. I mean Hijab and the other guys, they are exposing the mentality of Islam.
Yeah,
Really.
that's why there were many ex-Muslims trying to get. So Ali Dawa has this. I've seen this small clip where Ali Dawa is outlining the punishment for outspoken.
Yeah, Apostate Prophet had this.
And
Yeah.
ex-Muslims are trying to get that taken down. And I'm like, why are you doing that? It should be out there. And it's one Muslim, an outspoken Muslim guy, just highlighting. He's not making any personal threat. He's not saying people should go, and he's not inciting violence. All he's doing is highlighting his worldview as Islam tells him. That should be up there. People should be able to see what Islam, how Islam actually controls people's mind, and how people actually lose all respect for other human beings just because they criticize that religion, and that should be out there.
It's I don't know, but I just see that like these people are either for fame. They are accusing ex-Muslims for many things. Let me do too, or money, or I don't know, or psychological issues that we are talking about. Because where is the intellectual debate? What's happened to the intellectual? Because there is no intellectuality in Islam. What you will defend? I can bring many hadiths, many biographies from many Quranic verses. Stupid thing. What kind of intellectual debate they can have? Then they're attacking to person instead of coming with arguments against arguments. This is typical Islam. When they have no power, they will bully you.
Yeah, it just.
But when they have power, they will kill you. Now, what they will say? They will say this is a lie. No, they are proving this. I'm just observing.
And Hijab has actually used Islam to his advantage time and time again. There are times when he's praising Islam, he's just say, oh, how good Islam is. Then he'd use verses from Islam to appeal to the tribalistic side of Muslims to attack cosmic skeptic. He's done that in the past, where he'd use verses from Quran that says, do not hold anyone closer to you if they are enemy of Allah, be that your brothers, be that your mothers, be that your fathers. He'd use that to appeal to tribalistic side of Muslims, to just gather that support, because when it comes to Islam, Muslims aren't gonna disagree to some extent. And it's easy for these people who actually know a bit about Quran and their theology, they can use it to their purpose anytime they want, and they do. They do.
Like I respect and love the job what Apostate Prophet doing, and all other ex-Muslims.
Yeah.
But in the end, all the arguments and how I can say challenges against Islamic scriptures had been in many years. Many people did too, and it's good that we are doing everyone and just continue with that. But these apologies, they can never answer. Actually, they just want to make like some drama over personalities or backgrounds or who is who is how. Argument is there. Why they don't answer the challenge of Ali Sina, which is made it more than 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Or other people like the Christian Prince, for example.
Christian Prince, yes.
This is the one Arab Christian guy. I have followed him a while. And like him, they cannot even discuss, have debate with this man. And this man is Christian.
Yeah.
Exposes these people, these apologists, just religion every day. And they cannot. Because there is no honesty. They know even actually, I believe, of course, maybe they know even all the wrong things in Islam, but they have a mechanism like they have to defend it in whatever it costs.
Yeah.
And then they start to attack the personal attacks because they have no argument more. What they can do.
Yeah, completely.
And they cannot kill too because they have no love.
To actually
either they will act like they are victims. They will say all the time Islamophobia and racism and hatred.
Yeah.
Or they will create a Sharia country so they can kill you.
Yeah.
Or they will use their freedom of speech. Even they cannot use that because they use in wrong way. It's not freedom of speech. What they do to Apostate Prophet. And then they bully and they show their levels and expose Islamic mentality. So this I can
to be fair a bit, I know Ali Dawa doesn't stand for people getting killed here in the UK. I know I've heard him actually telling people off from getting into violence in UK at least. I've heard him say that, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing because
what I said this is the last video of Apostate Prophet that there he showed what Ali Dawa say.
Yes.
But he say in ideal Islamic country. This is the deceiving, and this is the hypocrisy of Islam.
Yeah.
Because they know they cannot say they should act like they are smart Muslim, not like Salafis who are the honest. They say, yes, I want that it will be implemented Sharia laws.
Yeah,
but these people, I don't know, this is just kids, I think, but these people saying in ideal something, not now. No, we have no problem right now. But if we have Islamic country, then this is just deceiving people and lying and hypocrisy. This hypocrisy, and they will never even live in a Sharia country. These people are really. If you put them in a Sharia country, they will run to the West.
I guess so.
They will seek asylum. These types we are talking about, not honesty there even. Because honest Muslim will talk honestly and say what is Islam and what he wants.
Yeah, but I guess we have to take people's word for it because I try and refrain from reading into intentions.
But what he said now is in the last video the Apostate Prophet had now. There he said in ideal, and he will be proud.
In a Sharia.
I mean, it's that. Yes, of course, he say in England he don't want or something, but he's in the same time he say in the ideal
world.
This is proving his hypocrisy.
Yeah, but that's what their religion says, right?
Yeah. And when we are talking about taqiyya, oh, you are an Islamophobe. even think we are afraid to talk about taqiyya concept.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Now, please don't let me go in the left wings, because then we have to sit here 3 hours.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we should start start wrapping it up, because we've been doing it for an hour and 40 minutes. It was supposed to be an hour. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Cemal, for coming on. It was extremely interesting. I hope to do more with you.
Thank you. It was a
always
pleasure. And Ali, we will also start with, or we have already started with live streams in Norway.
Nice.
And we will have you in one of our program. And it was my pleasure, and it was very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So guys, please go check out the Ex-Muslim of Norway YouTube account, because they're doing live streams as well. And for Cemb, we'll be doing this monthly. This meetup we're doing online now, monthly video, where I'll be talking to people. If you want us to get some people on, if you have any suggestions, you can find my email address on my Twitter bio. You can use that. And to check our events, Cemb events, please go to our website and event section. We do regular support groups where a group of ex-Muslims just talk to, there is a trained therapist in the room, but they just talk. It's peer-to-peer support. You just talk about your problems you're facing because of being an ex-Muslim, and just be in the community, feel that sense of belonging, and just work with each other and support them. To be a part of that, please send us an email at hello@exmuslim.org.uk. You can get the email from our website, and keep an eye out for all of our other events. They are on the website as well. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Cemal.
Thank you, Ali.
We'll be going on now. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining in. And for Zahiruddin, you weren't really trolling. It was just Punjabi phrases, but great. Thank you.